Mudassar Khan works for a lettings company in Walthamstow in East London. He's in charge of maintaining hundreds of properties. Mudassar works flexible hours because he suffers from panic attacks. He's been signed off work in the past and put on antidepressants.
When I'm working, I'm normally fine. It doesn't really affect me. If maybe the day before, the night before, I do feel that it's getting a little bit heavy, I wouldn't normally come in.
He claims medication hasn't worked for him. Instead, he says he's possessed by a jinn, a supernatural being.
You are burning. You are burning. Who's burning you? Who's burning you? It's not me. I am reading. Who's burning you? Who's burning you? Who's burning you? What I am reading? What I am reading? You don't believe what I'm reading, eh? What is your religion?
Treating him is Abu Muhammad, an exorcist who operates from the back room of his home in Ilford. Here he's summoning the jinn inside of Mudassar.
Did he come to you?
And speaks to it directly.
Is it you who caused him panic attack? Is it you who sent him to hospital? What you did?
Abu Muhammad is well known. He has a waiting list months long and charges £60 a session for his services. He claims to remove evil spirits from people who believe they're possessed by reading passages from the Quran.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.
The exorcist knows what he does is somewhat controversial. While we're filming, he's constantly filming us, concerned we're going to distort what he's doing here.
Body feels battered. That's what it feels like. Even now I feel a bit drowsy. But it's just like it's like slowly wearing off. You know, all that reading.
And you think you'll feel better now for having come here? For the rest of the week, or?
It will give me a boost. It was like, you know, it's like a dose of medicine, isn't it?
There is a magic in this body.
Mudassar's views are not uncommon. Among British Asians in the UK, the belief in evil spirits is widespread. That can be concepts like black magic. At its more extreme, it's that the body can be possessed, causing physical harm. The concept of jinn is in the Quran, and so for British Muslims in particular, there's a theological grounding for their belief, though what jinn actually are is not universally agreed upon. Serving these communities are hundreds of spiritual healers across the UK.
They're very unpredictable. We don't know about jinns. You know,
when 20-year-old Nadeem, whose name we've changed, became ill, he and his family thought he had a spiritual problem, that he was possessed by a jinn.
I came downstairs that night, right, and my dad goes, "What's up with you?" I go, "Look, you know, I feel weird. These walls, they look weird. Everything just looks weird, and I can't take it."
A healer was brought in to try and remove the jinn that Nadeem felt was inside him. When he didn't recover, his family took him to hospital.
The psychiatrist came to me, he goes, "What's the matter?" He wasn't much aware about the jinns. I don't think they knew. So he was like shell-shocked himself.
Nadeem is now diagnosed with schizophrenia and takes daily medication. Do you in any way regret not getting medical help sooner?
No. I'm actually happy that we did actually go through the spiritual help.
Don't do this to her. Huh? Tell me what your plan, what you have been doing.
Professor Singh says it's key his patients admit to their religious ceremonies or healing, because it can be helpful, as long as it's not an alternative to medical care. What has been found is that for some British Asians, it's simply more acceptable to be possessed than mentally ill.
To obey him only.
To obey him only? You make him sick. All the way from Pakistan, you come here. Who created you?
No one has accused Abu Muhammad of any wrongdoing, and many have told me they've benefited from his treatment. Although he says he can cure many illnesses, he also told me he's had clients he's had to pass on to doctors.
We don't want to interfere with the job of doctors or medical professionals. So everybody, he does his job.
But you think that some of the problems that people might think are psychological are to do with the jinn?
Could be psychological problem but the one behind it is the jinn, because the jinn can play with us, can deceive us. The jinn can even deceive doctors.
You see that there's a difficult line there, that if someone believes in this, they might, not seek the right help.
How can, if it's a theory, how can I explain the things that I'm going through?
Here in East London, the Mental Health Trust told me their services were established to serve a community where religion was dying out. Now, most of their patients value the spiritual as much as they do science.